There seems to be a huge disconnect between Nintendo and the fans. This is regarding to E3 when we finally found some more details about Paper Mario Color Splash. From what we were shown, it would appear that Nintendo didn't really learn their mistakes from Sticker Star. And at the end of this video, I actually have a plan. And if this plan goes well, then it might just bring Paper Mario back on the right path. But before I do that, I wanna prove how much the Paper Mario franchise has become such a shit show. And to do that, I will be comparing it to a completely different franchise. I'm talking about Star Wars. Many of you may be scratching your heads at the moment, but don't worry, as I'm going along with it, I'm sure you'll understand where I'm going with this. Let's start at the very beginning with Paper Mario 64 and Star Wars A New Hope. When these two initially came out, people were just blown away. Whoa, what is this? This is cool and different, I want more! Both were influenced by past attempted adventures, but were taken into exciting and new direction. Star Wars being influenced from Star Trek, and Paper Mario 64 being influenced from Super Mario RPG. Moving on to their predecessors, Empire Strikes Back and The Thousand Year Door. Both of these had to live up to what the prequels started, and they just both completely blew it out of the water. Empire and TTYD improved on every single aspect that the first installments introduced. Both even introduced new villains that we find out are even more powerful than the villains we met in the prequels. Not to mention, these two are a majority of people's favorite installments in each series. Transitioning into what happens next, which is Return of the Jedi and Super Paper Mario. Now these two start going into a different direction. Super Paper Mario gets rid of the RPG style and moves into more of a 2D platformer, while Jedi spends a very good amount of time with the Ewoks. A little too much time with the Ewoks. But it also consists of main characters switching sides. The sides of good and evil, of course. Nevertheless, both of these are still good enough and live up to the first two installments, completing each trilogy. But before people can get on my case, I realize that the first three Paper Mario games are not a continuous story, but you can still call them a trilogy. Especially because of what happens next. The turning point of each franchise, where each just becomes complete horseshit. I'm talking about Phantom Menace and Sticker Star. Fans were livid after experiencing these two. Both of these decided to take their franchises into complete different directions with new concepts. The creators of each thought that the fans would like it, but they could not be more wrong. Whether it was Jar Jar Binks or only having generic as hell toads around, it was just pretty clear that the creators had no idea why the first trilogy of each were so beloved. And before I move on, I did want to acknowledge that this is where the comparison gets a little muddy, but just stick with me here. Next up we have Attack of the Clones and Mario & Luigi Paper Jam. Now I know what you're thinking, but if Paper Mario is in it, and it is an RPG game, then it counts. But really, the only similarity I can make between these two is war. And by that I mean the big Jedi battling clones, and Paper Jam does feel like a war at times. The good paper and the real paper characters joining forces, and the bad paper and the bad real characters joining forces to go up against each other. Also, both of these installments are not as bad as their previous ones. And now for the current day releases, Revenge of the Sith and Color Splash. Now obviously from here we can only make speculations on Color Splash, but both of these could quite possibly be the best installments of the second trilogies. Second. Not the first trilogy, the second. We don't know what the future holds for Paper Mario, but we do know what it holds for Star Wars. Force Awakens came out last year and many people loved it. A big reason for that is it went back to basics. It went back to why we fell in love with Star Wars in the first place, and that is exactly what needs to happen with Paper Mario. So now, I'm going to go into my plan on how we can make Paper Mario great again. At E3, the guys from Game Explain got to interview one of the developers from Color Splash. When asked what's the future for Paper Mario, she replied with, "We don't know. We already did stickers. We We already did colors. We're not sure what to do next. And let me just say really quick, do you know how infuriating that is for a fan to hear? Like, why is Nintendo and Intelligent Systems stuck in this mentality that there has to be some sort of paper gimmick? Because that wasn't there before. In the first trilogy, they never even acknowledged that everything was paper. Because that was part of their charm. But no, now the word paper has to be used in at least once in every single speech bubble. Hey, I'm paper. Being paper's cool. Oh, don't cut me. I'm made of paper. Hey, did you all know that we're all made out of paper? I sure as hell did. Sorry, I got way off topic. Also in this said interview, when asked if there's a possibility we'd ever get a 1,000-Year Door HD remake, she replied with, if enough people want it. Now obviously that does sound something we all want, but this is where my plan comes in. What we need to do is show Nintendo how much we want that HD remake. We need to plead and beg for it, so that way they are motivated to actually make it. From there, Nintendo will see the sales on that HD remake and go like, damn, people really like this. Maybe we should go back to the old formula. And bam! Hashtag make Paper Mario great again. It sounds pretty easy, but it won't be, trust me. I mean, we all know that Nintendo doesn't really care about what the fans have to say at this point. But Game Explained did open the door for us, so now we all have to band together, because it's up to us. So it relies in the hands of you, of me, of all of us. What's the 7th game going to be? Is it going to be Sticker Star 2? Or is it going to be the Million-Year Gate? Yeah, I'm not really good with titles. But that's all for me today, guys. Thank you all for watching, liking, commenting, and please subscribe to the Power of the Wolfpack today. Please, let me know down in the comments. I wanna talk to you guys, what you guys think about this, about anything that I said in today's video. And it's time for this lone wolf to roll out. Ow!